Hello YouTube, how the hell are you? This is Zach, or Hotload Zach, however the hell you know me, and I want to go over some Banlist predictions for the upcoming format for Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Links. I think that we're in a space where a lot of things can change, and a lot of things are going to change. So we have the tier list up on Duel Links Meta. We're going to look at some of the cards on Duel Links, I believe, if I don't feel too lazy, and we're going to come up with some ideas to change what the hell's going on. First, we have Onomat. I feel like they're going to change the skill 100%, or they might go with the random idea and knock Doo-Doo draw down to 2. If they knock Doo-Doo draw down to 2, there's going to be major problems for the deck. It's run at 3 79% of the time. Let me actually zoom this in just a touch. To run at 3 79% of the time, and at 2 7% of the time, and 8% at 0. So if they drop it down to 2, it would make it so that way you have to choose in between that and Sister, and then you have the massive choice in between Sister, Head, and then Doo-Doo draw, which means that would change minimum 2 cards in this deck, which is going to change a lot. Obviously, they can also change Onomatoplay, which is return 1 Zubaba, Gaga, Go-Go, Doo-Doo card from your hand, and add 1 with a different name to your hand. I'm not going to sit there and repeat it, but it's super basic, super easy, and that's why it's able to be used so heavily. So I think that's how we're going to change Onomat. I think that's the 2 likely ways that they're going to do it. I don't feel like they're going to limit Coat, but that's kind of the third one that's possible. And power rankings wise, they're number 1 with 34. They're double the power of Thunder Dragons. Okay, so next we have Cyber Dragon. So I thought this one was pretty plain and simple here. Everybody complains because Cyber Style can be abused by having Cosmic Cyclone in your deck. This is a very, very simple and easy way to deal with this, and that is to ban Core to 3. You put Core to 3, that means you can't run Cosmic Cyclone. At minimum, that changes 2 cards in your deck. You're gonna have to run more. You're gonna have to run more Cyber Dragon stuff, and make it more of a Cyber Dragon deck instead of holy spells and 4 Cyber Dragon cards. Obviously, they have the extra and stuff like that, but it's not running as much as what you would assume. And even clicking on the top 100 global deck, it is still the same deck except they have Storm, which would change a few things. But if they put Storm to 3 and put Core to 3, then you're changing a lot of the deck, and it will help it quite a bit. And then obviously change the skill to 1500. That means you can only get 2 of them, 2 of the Cyber Dragon Protos for free, because then you can only go down 3000 attack, 3000 life points. Now we have Thunder Dragons. So, first off, this is my favorite deck, but I'm going to tell you exactly how to kill it. Everybody keeps saying dark, 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 dark. You don't worry about dark. 2 ways to nerf this deck, and nerf it pretty badly, would be put Lupine to 2. So that way it's in the same level as Gold Sark. People will stop running Gold Sark. People will stop running Lupine. Where's Lupine? Lupine is it's at 3 and 30 in 77% of decks, and at 0 and 22% of decks. So that 22% would go up quite a bit. And then also you have 0 and 1 Gold Sarks at 12% each. I think that would go down too. And then also you could also put this or Bouncer to 1, and then you have that fighting against Melody of Awakening Dragon, and then you also have that problem too. That would deal with all of the Levianeer spam. So let's look at a practice deck for Thunder Dragons. So if we moved Lupine to 2, that takes out 2 cards minimum. And if they really wanted to kill the deck, they put Bouncer to 1. That removes Melody of Awakening Dragon as well. And then you have a lot of difference in the deck. That helps quite a bit, it freshens up the metagame quite a bit. So there's that. The new deck list that I'm loving is, where is it? It's the Resonator one. Probably the expensive one. Is this it? Nope, that's not it. Where's the Resonator one? Fiend Farewell. There we go. Nope, that's a different one. It is Demon Resonance. There we go. So this is the one I've been running. This is the one that I think is entertaining. It's very, very fast, very interactive on your side. You get the synchro climb. It's everything that I personally want in a deck. It's a fucking blast. And even if you look at it, it fits the new meta of Gold Sark being at 2, Lupine being at 2. You don't have to worry about it at all. And it fits into that meta perfectly. That way you're not losing a deck, you're not killing a deck, and you're able to keep going into it and trying this deck as well. So that's how I would nerf Thunder Dragons. And those are the top 3 decks in the power rankings. Next we have Evil Eye. So I didn't really think Evil Eye needed a nerf. Kind of actually buffed it in how I wanted it. So I think we unban Storm. Put Storm to 3. I don't see a problem with having it at 3. So that's what I would do with Evil Eye, and that would probably add 3 Storms onto their back row as well. Next would be Gaia. Gaia, I think we nerf Gaia the Magical Knight of Dragons down to 2. Reason why? It drops Treacherous, because I don't see them banning Treacherous. If they ban Treacherous, then obviously you don't need to nerf this deck. You don't need to nerf it at all. Just ban Tretch. But if you put the Magical Knight down to 2, then this one's not even running it. So that works. And then you have the XCs that you can go into as well. Let's look at another deck. That one's not running Treacherous either. First place. Is this one running Tretch? Nope, that one's not running Tretch either. So maybe it's going down. Maybe the percentage of Treacherous is going down in Gaia, and it might not change very much. But Magical Knight to 2 would be the one nerf that I would do to Gaia. Now let's look at Harpies. This is my favorite deck. Well, second favorite deck. I play this deck all the time. I experiment with it. It's one of the decks that I feel like I know enough about that I can actually play it in different kind of ways. First off, slash to 2. If we put slash to 2, what does it change? You can't have this card. Get it out of here. That opens up a lot more fucking variability in the deck. You are not able to carry Treacherous at all. Bam, that's a lot of change. See, my deck's even different than this. My deck is, let me open it up. I'll show you the deck in a second. But my deck doesn't even run Treacherous. It has 3 slash. I think they're going to nerf slash here. The only other one that I can really see being changed is I can see Egotist going to 2, which then blocks Treacherous as well. Or you could put Harpy Oracle to 1 or 2. Right? Yeah, 1 or 2. You could put Harpy's Oracle to 1 or 2, which then affects a lot of the cards that it's able to have and gets it a ban, which it probably needs. And Oracle would stop some of the recursion plays that you're able to do. Running it at 2, I don't think is the right way to do it anyway, but that's just me. So, oh, fucking closed. Let's see. Okay, so next we have Lunalight. My window went behind everything, so I'm not able to grab it. So Lunalight. What do you nerf in Lunalight? So I think you swap Fusion with green. So you swap Fusion, which is being run at 3, which it should 110%, with Emerald Bird, which it's being run at 1 right now, and 2 and 8% of decks. This is the problem. So you have Yellow Martin, which is your searcher, and you have a draw for free, both in tier 3. If you put the Fusion in 3 and Martin in 3, then you run 2 and 1, just like they did Alistair. This deck isn't as big of an issue as it is on the ladder as it is right now. With untargetable monsters, a lot of people are complaining about it. So I think that's the main way to deal with it. It would change up probably 2 cards in the deck, and one of them might be Emerald Bird, and then fill in filler wherever you need it. I wish there wasn't so many ads on this webpage. But with them running 100% of Crimson Fox, I can't see them changing that ban. What else did I have down? Oh, the other thing that I said would be possible would be Tenki to 2. If they put Tenki to 2, then they're not running Tenki because Crimson Fox. Obviously, that probably would be met with a Dragon Magic unban, I would assume. And that might be nice as well. But then you're not running Tenki as well. And then the deck isn't so sacky. It isn't so up in your face and absolutely dominant. Resonators. We already went over a little bit of Resonator because of the new Thunder Dragon deck. But if you want to nerf this deck, you put Whirlwind to 2 or 3. You put it to 2, takes Econ out of this deck. It's very, very important. A lot of people are running Treacherous as well. That makes it so that way you don't have to worry about Treacherous. It's the 2 cards that you need to keep them away from. The deck is great. The deck is super, super fucking fun. Or if they wanted to make it so that way it wasn't Whirlwind, they could put Red Rising Dragon down to 2, and that would help as well. But that's kind of the catch 22 there, is it depends on how you want to go about it. Tech Genus, I don't think anything's going to be banned from here. I think we might see a change in the ban and forbidden list, though. I think we're going to flip Raiden for charge. Personally, it's what I would do. I think flipping Raiden to 2 and putting charge at 3 makes people run 3 charge if they're going to run the Lightsworn engine, and they have to run a 3rd monster. Because they have to have a response for every single one. At least. At least 1, if not 2, because of the Lightsworn engine itself. It makes sense, at least in my mind. And that would free up 1 extra slot for charge, which then takes away another card or adds another card. Breaks consistency just a touch, and probably would be a great idea, especially because of how strong the Lightsworn engine is. And then Trimids, the end of tier 3. So we have, what do we have? Oh, I said that there should be no bans on Trimids because it wasn't here before. I actually just got my hands on Trimid Sphinx, so now I'm going to try this deck out too. But this deck's interesting. You can see a lot of power in it, depending on how the hell the person plays it. Some people play horribly. And right now they're doing something weird. They're playing Harpy's Hunting Ground 60% of the time. Or Power of Dark. Super interesting. Super meta deck right now. It's growing. It's growing pretty consistently. Let's go over the power rankings because I have one more deck that I feel like they're going to nerf, which is this tier 3 deck right here. I feel like they're going to change the limits on Blue Eyes. Now, everybody has said this, obviously, but I think that this is going to be the big change that they do this time. And it's going to be 1 of 2 cards, and they're both going to go to 2, depending on which one. It's either going to be Sage, to drop the Sage into Stone play, or it's going to be Card of Consonance into Stone play, getting nerfed. It's going to be one of these 2 cards. It's the super, super aggressive consistency cards that they're going to drop to 2. And then they're going to remove the limit on Azure. or put it to 3. So that way you can't play Cosmic. Would be my 2 guesses on what's going to happen. So boys, this has been my breakdown of my predictions for the ban list for September, October, depending on when it decides to go into effect. Please leave your comments down below and let me know what you guys want to see. And who knows? We'll get some cool decks out of this shit. See you fucking later.